right down from your belly. So get in here, you half a queer. It's time for Calta and Kelly. That's for you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Calta and Kelly Show. And guess what? We have a two major surprises. Number one, Bert Kreischer, and number two,
I'm pregnant.
Hey, me too. I'm just kidding. I'm not.
You can't get pregnant with such a little vagina. And Zia is here.
Hello.
And number three, we have three. We have Hollywood Calta is fucking here.
I should be wearing my sunglasses.
Bert is taking over my position. I'm dropping out of the podcast. Mike is moving to Hollywood, and the new show is right there. It's called Two Gay Bears.
Two Gay Bears. I would move as much as this place is shitty with homeless people and all the other stuff and natural disasters and unclean air. I would move here in a second just for the fucking weather. It is so beautiful here.
The weather is nice. I lived there for 7 years. I actually just got to New Jersey like 6-ish months ago. And that is one thing I miss. I miss the weather. The weather here kind of sucks. I like New Jersey, but it's not great.
Do you remember that movie where, I forget what it was, Jake Gyllenhaal, where the whole fucking thing, the whole world just froze?
2000, I think it was 2020.
Yeah.
If New York was like that every day, I still wouldn't move to fucking LA.
Bobby, hold on. How much of that is here's my question, because I know you so well. How much of it do you take personal? How much do you look at LA and you're like, you know what, fuck you, La Brea. I remember the time I didn't get that audition. you can suck my dick, La Brea.
No, it's La Brea. I never know.
I'll tell you what, Sepulveda, I lived on you and you gave me fucking nothing.
I do have bad memories of using a Thomas guide, going to the wrong fucking Olympia Ave, winding up in the hood for an audition that I wasn't going to get anyways. Yes, there's a lot of those, learning 14 pages, driving into a lot, walking past the city, going by and going into a little bungalow with a bunch of fucking fans, and never 9 million auditions and never getting one of them. Yes, there is some of that. I will agree.
Yeah, because I feel that way. I feel that way about New York sometimes. Like, what's the street right by the cellar, Minnetonka?
Minnetonka?
What's the street? What's that side street that Serpico used to do drug busts on?
Fucking Minnetonka is.
What's the name of the street, Bobby?
Minnetonka Lane.
Is it?
No, I love that you made it Japanese. Minnetonka Lane. Minetta.
That's it. Minetta was the most depressing place in the world for me, because I wasn't working at the cellar. I was working the door at the Boston, and I was living over off Bleecker, and I had to walk down Minetta, and I'd walk by, and every time I'd walk past the cellar, someone inevitably was working at late night barking, and they're like, "Hey man, you want to see a comedy show?" And I was a comedian, and I'd walk past it going, "Motherfucker, man." And then cut to now, like every time I walk down the street, I have fond memories where I go, "God, remember how depressing this used to fucking be."
Oh, dude, I walked through Times Square a year and a half ago. And they walked up to me and told me that about a comedy show that's going down, and Billy Burr and Robert Kelly was going to be there. I was like, all right, well, it sounds like a good show. I'll see you later.
So check it out.
When I parked at Boston, I pitched comedy to two guys, but I did it on purpose. Gary Shandling and George Carlin.
That's awesome.
Hey, can I tell you who George Carlin? I swear to God, on my children, George Carlin. I said, "Hey, we got a great show tonight. Do you like comedy?" And he like goes, "I do." And I said, I go, "We have a great show. You should come in and check it out. It's like a $5 cover." And he goes, "Who's on the show?" I was like, and at the time it was you, Jim Norton, Pete Corielli, Ben Bailey, DC Benny. And I swear to you, George Carlin said, "Is Karen Bergreen on the show?" Wow. And I went, "She just went up." And he went, "Can we still catch her?" And I went, "I don't know. Come on in." He was a fucking Karen Bergreen fan. That
makes me angry.
I thought it would. It blew me away. I was like, Karen Bergreen.
That makes me. I want him to. If I had the power to bring people back to life, I would bring him back to life just to go fuck you, fucking asshole. Now, nothing against Bert Green, but I remember, what was it? Who's the fucking guy? Tropic Thunder. Who wrote that? Who directed that?
Ben Stiller.
That's why I'll never be famous. I know nothing. I can't retain any information. I probably met so many fucking people that could help my career, but I walk by them. I know nothing about them. Ben Stiller walked by one night, and I was like, "Hey, man," I said something like, "Dude, why don't you come do some stand up?" And he was like, "No, thank you." And he was walking by.
Like that.
Fucking suck. So how's it going out there? Is the homeless encampments? Did you put a Calta and Kelly sticker on a tent yet?
I did. I just sent Mush a picture of something. Mush, when you get it, let me know. So I text it to you. It pretty much sums up my entire trip to LA.
That's the thing you could actually do now, which I might do, is just get a nice Coleman pop-up tent and drop it in front of Bert's house and live there.
Oh, you wouldn't be the only one. Even in this nice neighborhood. So the difference between where, like, when you get off at LAX and you start driving towards the city, you'll see just tents and people putting cardboard boxes and all, like, and it's sad because it's not just like one or two, it's like a whole fucking mile of it. But as you get into the better neighborhoods, the homeless camps get better. In Bert's neighborhood, they're either living in an abandoned vans or abandoned like RVs. Anywhere you see an RV parked with the windows blocked out, that's homeless people living on your street.
We are everywhere. Yeah. Oh yeah. We had a van. We had a trailer in front of our house. This is my neighborhood's very Russian, and we had a trailer in front of my house, and when we were building, and it was a homeless person, and you know me, I'm a little bit of a bleeding heart, so a part of me goes, they're not. Part of me is like, maybe they're just looking after the property. Maybe them being there stops people from breaking in. And these guys came up. Lamb was here, and they're like, "This van, yours, no?" And she goes, "No." He goes, "Then we get rid of." And she was like, "Oh, is it yours?" And he goes, No, we get rid of baseball bats. We get rid of
baseball bats.
Yeah, and so Leanne goes, these guys they live in this cul-de-sac across the street, and they all go out, they play basketball. I think some of them are Serbian, and so they're all Eastern European. So one day we're out here, and then one of the guys comes over and he goes, "We take care of hey. You're a machine." And I go, "I am." And he goes, "Oh, 1 minute. All of them come over and they're like, "The fucking machine? No way." And I was like, "Yeah." And they go, we got rid of homeless guy for a machine. Machine lives across the street. I was telling one guy, Cal had one guy, there was a guy breaking into our property. He chased him down to the corner, put a gun in his mouth, and held him with a gun in his mouth on the corner of the fucking street. And then told us about it. And Leanne and I are like, oh,
best neighbor ever.
I cannot tell that guy to turn his music down ever. And it is so obnoxious. It is so like it's like the kind of music where you go, who dances to this? And it's loud, and there's no killing it with Tom Petty next to it.
Triple X is over there solving a crime for the country.
By the way, you're full of shit, because you would have gone out to the trailer and be like, "Hey guys, I'm living here. You should probably move. Can you get out of here?" And then 2 days later, he's like, "Anybody want a beer?" And they would have been your best friends. You would have been sitting in the fucking trailer drinking with them every night.
Well, you know what happened when they broke in? Some guys broke into this room, the podcast studio, right before. Yeah. Probably. Now I guess now
a couple of times it happened.
It was right before we did the Super Bowl show with Sap, so it was before the Super Bowl. It was in December. Some guys broke into this podcast studio, and we had it on camera. And they broke in. They stole nothing. They didn't break anything. These two fucking absolute window licking mouth breathers. And you heard them in there like. So I dressed up as they did, right? I come to my house at 2 a.m. I break into my house, the same path they took, same outfit, and then I grab my secret time or my Netflix special thing. I lift it up and I go, "Oh my God, it's Bert Kreischer's house, run!" And I use it as a promo, and I made 7 figures off of these two fucking jackasses who broke into my house. We sold so many fucking tickets to that live event. Fucking suck my dick, you mouth breather. I wanted to go to that guy. I wanted to call these kids up and go, "Hey man, you don't have the brains to make money for yourself, but you're just dumb enough where I can figure out how to make money off of you. Can you guys break into my house again? And then when you do, can you rip your shirt off and go, I am the machine, you fucking idiots.
What did they do if they didn't take anything and they didn't smash anything? They just wandered around?
They're just, you know, it's amazing. You forget how stupid people are. You know, like
I don't.
They walked in and the alarm went off and they saw cameras and they got spooked.
Okay.
I don't know what big plans they had to steal anything, but they just had not thought it through. They really hadn't thought it through.
I'm just afraid right now to breathe in the microphone and be called the mouth breather. I'm trying to regulate my fucking nasals right now.
I don't know if you've listened to Rogan's podcast about mouth breathing, but it's a pretty insightful podcast. So much so that I taped my lips closed when I sleep. That's a thing. Hey, did you see Rogan go in an ice bath for 20 fucking minutes?
Dude,
Jesus,
just watching.
that's a long time.
Oh, that's my picture to sum up my trip to LA.
Christ.
First half hour there. That's a second naked lady I saw on the streets.
That's a lady?
Look at the
You
size.
don't see the bush?
Can you zoom in on the
Look
bush?
at that bush.
That looks exactly like my penis.
I thought it was Dr. Ken.
That is in the drive-through of an In-N-Out. She just got completely naked, stood there, and then started getting dressed again. Look at that bush.
Jeez. That's pretty much LA. When we were living there, it was around the time we left, actually. Nick had taken me somewhere to drop me off, and then he was driving back. And there was this big, like, super fat homeless lady that lifted her dress up, and she wasn't wearing any underwear, and she just stood, like, kind of half squatted, and just liquid shitted all over the sidewalk.
Oh, my God.
And then just put her dress down and walked away.
Zia, nobody here likes the word super fat.
Sorry. I forgot who I was talking to.
Yeah, you're not on a podcast.
That was the second naked lady I saw. The first one was right when I got off the highway. This lady was wearing a half shirt that came up to here.
Oh.
It was a black lady, and she had her titties were down to here, but they looked like she'd been feeding a litter of puppies. They were all wrinkled and small, and she was chasing another guy trying to hit him. And I was like, "What the fuck
with her tits?"
Well, dude, I was here for 5 minutes. That was the first thing I saw. I was like, "Oh, this should be great."
The day Ralphie died, I'm sitting at a Cuban restaurant up on Laurel Canyon with my wife and her best friend Sandy, and Joey Diaz calls. He's like, "Dog, it happened." And I go, "What?" And he goes, "Ralphie, dog, he's dead." And I went, "Oh fuck." So I step outside and I go to take the call to talk to Joey, and there's a homeless woman sitting crisscross applesauce with the dress on, and she is first of all, she's pretty attractive, and she is straight up showing her pussy. And Bobby, you'll get this reference. It is like 1980s magazine pussy.
Ooh.
Like, you know, when the hair was really like vibrant and it really highlighted, and it was like black hair, and it was actually kind of hot. And I walked out and I saw it and I went, "Wow." And he goes, "Yeah, I know. That's what I said." I said, "No, I'm looking at a homeless woman's pussy." And then she looks up at me and goes, closes her legs. And I was like, "Oh, fuck."
You're the guy that she doesn't care about anything else, but as soon as you're looking, she's like, "Oh, now it's time to close my legs."
Fuck.
Here's the thing with LA, though. I was talking to somebody about LA the other day. LA, there's a vibe. There's a thing that happens when I land in LA. First of all, I immediately gain 30 pounds. I don't know why. I immediately feel 30 pounds fatter as soon as I get off that fucking plane. And there's a vibe. It's just, I've never vibed. Even when things were great, things were happening, I just never fucking vibed. I hate, anytime I was like, "Dude, want to meet up for lunch?" I was like, "No, I don't want to drive over a canyon into a valley, into a fucking neighborhood." And then I was just like, "Fuck me." But people who live there, no fucking problem. No problem jumping in traffic, going over all the little fucking roads. And it doesn't even affect anybody. Like, for me,
you're more of, this is going to sound so fucking stupid. I've been really into history lately. And when I look at you, Bobby, you're not like a nomadic person who likes traveling around. You're a dude who likes the things you like, and you also like to move within that. You're almost like a warlord.
You're a settler.
Yeah, you're a settler. And so you are the guy that wants to know the guy that you buy pizza from. You want to know the guy you get coffee from. You want to know the people you are. And that's not LA. LA is so full of shit that you don't get that vibe often. And like no one is a regular in LA anywhere. And you're a regular, like you want to be
I want to be the mayor of every town that I'm in. Yes, I do. Yeah. That is, I do want to. Hey, Bobo, how you doing, Gary? All right, hey, you get my paper.
I see you more as a warlord, but yeah, mayor. Okay,
I'll take the warlord. I'll take that. But no, it's this thing in LA too. Is the I think I might have liked it better now that the Comedy Store, because I always loved the Comedy Store. I love the grunginess of it. I love the darkness of it. But when I was there, it was garbage, and that fucking lunatic Tommy was running it, so I couldn't even get in there. But like even going to the clubs, like parking, it's like, all right, you got to drive, get there, and then you got to fucking drive around for fucking an hour, unless you're Dane, where you just pull up and throw some fucking middle-aged Mexican guy your keys, and he goes, "Thank you very much, Mr. Cook," and then you know what I mean.
You love the Comedy Store right now, Bobby. You should take a trip out now, because the Comedy Store is a little bit like, I would say before pandemic, the Comedy Store was a tad bit overwhelming. Like you'd get there and it would be, I mean, the lineups were like, I mean, the parking lot was a showroom, a Beverly Hills showroom of cars. No one had a car under $100,000.
Yeah, the MC walked out. He had a fucking brand new Tesla with a fucking, a plate that says MC. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah. I mean that, and now you go there and it's a little more, it's not, I mean, and I try to be fair, but it's not as communal as it was. Like you'd go there before and you'd go in the back and Rogan Burr, Jim Jeffries, Segura, everyone's holding court. Norm Macdonald's back there, Spade. It was a little bit of like a wow, this is a pretty impressive room. And now it's not that as much because, and I think because of Rogan's presence really was overwhelming there. I think he really kind of brought it. He brought the fabric together of that community. Now it's a little bit like I'm not going to say this. It's more fun, but there's less pressure. Like you go in there and you just do a spot and you fuck around and you know that it's maybe not as high pressured as it was a year ago, or like 2 years ago was, I mean, insane. I remember doing lineups where I was like, so I'm going to do material from like 10 years ago because I don't know. None of my stuff now is going to keep up with these guys.
Yeah. The Cellar's like that too now, though. The Cellar, you walk in. I walked in last week. I didn't know. I didn't know any of them. I didn't know any of these young, good-looking, fantastic, fucking energy comics sitting around. But yeah, we did take over the table and fucking make everybody uncomfortable and sit somewhere else. That was fun. I just sat down and stared at everybody, and then everybody left. And then and Keith came down too. That fucking piece of shit. Yeah, it is weird. Everything kind of switched in the last year, and there's a bunch of new people that kind of took over. So what are you going to do? But LA for me, dude, I don't know if I could do it. I just went out there 2 months ago and I fucking, where I liked? El Segundo.
Yeah. That's Dave Williamson's territory.
Is it? I don't know.
He's the mayor of El Segundo. Dave Williamson coaches El Segundo water polo. I think he's on the city council. He's got a brewery that he's partnered with. He does barbecue every Sunday, sends out a mass email to everyone that lives in El Segundo, and it's like, yo, put in your orders. And people put in their orders on Friday. He goes and buys the meat Saturday morning, smokes it Saturday night. It's done Sunday afternoon, and everyone comes and picks their meats up.
I'll fucking move there.
No, that doesn't sound like a bad place to live.
Dude, Dave Williamson's got it dialed.
He got Bobby dialed in on his smoker.
Oh, shut up.
Dave Williamson. Okay, I know you're talking about now. I'm sorry. That's why I suck with names. Oh, God, people must hate me. Yeah, dude, he's fucking great. I like that guy. And I would live in El Segundo. I'd get an old car. I'd get some fucking 1950s car. I'll live over there. There's a smoke shop over there, and I'll hang out. I'll smoke some meat, have barbecues, and right near the airport. But I could never live where you live? Do you live on a hill? Like, I don't get that. Like,
you would love where he lived. This is your type of neighborhood. It's a neighborhood with a yard and trees. You would love it here.
You would love my house.
I love Bert's old house. When I pulled up to Bert's house before, I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is a neighborhood. This makes
that look like a homeless camp.
Yeah, it does.
And it's not, I don't mean that from a like a opulence. I mean, it's just, this is a home. This is a nice place. Like, you don't expect something like this to be in California.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think that's because Leanne built it.
Yeah.
Leanne went through and made it so that like I just took Cal on a tour of the house, and like our kitchen's green, which I thought was like a cool move.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, you don't see that much in LA, like a green. It's like something you'd see in a farmhouse.
Yeah.
So
it is farmhouse-ish in LA, which is funny because you could tell Leanne did the whole thing, and then Bert's input is that there's a bar and every 7 steps there's something with alcohol in it.
But Bert's house too, and I love your wife because she's so like the house was lived in. Like so many houses I went to, I'm like, is this a fucking modern art museum?
Boom, dude.
The stove it's never been used. It's a $30,000 fucking oven from Germany, and you've never fucking used it. I don't get that.
Those places are so uncomfortable. I hate going to those places. I feel like you can't relax. Like I'd feel so weird taking my pants off and sitting on the couch there. And I feel like if you can't do that, you can't live somewhere. I'm just saying, like if you were going to live in a place like that, you have to be comfortable, like taking your pants off and chilling in your underwear on the couch. And I feel like those places are so weird. They're not comfortable at all.
I'm not allowed to sit on the couches in my house with no underwear on. My wife gets very angry.
Why?
I have butt sweat.
Oh, butt sweat. Swamp ass everywhere.
Bert, does it bother you that fucking Calta, the way he sits on the couch when he puts his legs, both legs underneath his body?
He doesn't like that I'm fat and flexible.
Can I tell you? I just spent 3 months with Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill is the most flexible human being in the world. He sits with his legs crossed on top of each other. Yeah, he is a Jedi. Yeah, I never thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
I sleep with my leg. I sleep with my legs crossed. Like I lay in bed and I close them like this.
Really?
Wait,
and
what?
Then sometimes like my hips get sore. So if I'm standing up, I'll put my knee up on the counter and just kind of and he is just amazed that that I'm flexible like that. He gets mad at it. I sat down on the couch in my living room one time and I had my legs crossed and he fucking started yelling at me.
Yeah, there's a lot of frustrating things about Cal. Like when he got COVID and didn't feel it.
Yeah, because he doesn't feel love either.
Do you know, I don't even know if you know this, but we talked about this on my show and on this show. Like early on when we first met, we were at the Tampa Improv and we're in the box office and you called your father from the phone about the show or whatever. And then you were like, all right, cool. I love you. All right. I love you. All right. Yeah. Bye. All right. I love you. Bye. And I looked at you and I go, you just said I love you to your dad more times in that phone call than I have to mine in my entire life. And you were like, oh my God, that's sad. I go, it's not. I go, my father loves me and I love him. We just don't feel the need to throw it at each other 100 times a day. And then this one thinks I don't love anyone.
Because you don't. First of all, I've known you for so long. You said I love you once, and you did it as a dig, not as you did it to fuck me, not even to really love me.
But do you doubt that I love you?
I mean, no.
It's unnecessary to keep saying. Like the more you say it, that wears off. You know what I mean?
No. It's like you're thinking of the N-word. The more you say it, the more you get comfortable with it.
Easy, singer. Listen, no, dude, it's just like I fucking wouldn't mind hearing it once in a while, and that you almost have a rule, some mafia fucking rule, something you learned off The Sopranos to not say I love you.
No, Italian guys are constantly kissing and loving each other. It's not I don't like. I also don't say goodbye when I hang up the phone.
Oh, you're one of those people that just hang up?
Well, I don't just hang out of the blue. I'll be like, all right, cool. All right, see you later. And somebody will go goodbye. And I just hang up. But you said it. I don't have to say it too. We know it's a good
do that. Louis Gomez is the worst, though. You'll literally be talking to him. All right, dude, we'll bring the boys over on Saturday. Yeah, all right, we'll meet at the thing. Okay. And then he's just gone. And you're like,
no, that's different.
I see that in movies all the time. And I'm always like, who does that? So there are people out there that do that. To me, it's always weird. They're like, okay, and then just click. And I always thought that was so strange.
That's me. In movies, it's weird when they just answer the phone. They go, yeah. Nobody ever does that.
Yeah, that's weird too.
I get very jealous of both of you. I remember when we dropped Bert off at his house. Remember we dropped him off at his house and both his parents came out. I was just like, wow, like what the fuck is that? Like they came out together and it was late too. It wasn't even like fucking noon. It was like late night and they both, hey, how was the trip? And I was like, wow, that's like a family.
What
Like,
it must be like to grow up in a functional family.
Right. Which is
Yeah.
odd because you see clearly a kid that was given all the family love in the world. To this point, they still love him. Still a raging alcoholic. There's no chance of dropping.
And hilarious, which is
Yeah.
interesting. I feel like so many of the best comedians have had such a fucked up life, and they come up, you hear their stories, and you're like, oh Jesus, no wonder they're funny and why they're like this.
I haven't seen my mother in a year and a half. I almost hit her this weekend. I swear to God, I almost fucking just hit. I went in her. She has a minivan. You know, my stepdad passed away, and she goes and visits him all the time. And I went to get something out of the minivan out of the back, and there was dirt, and there was a bag full. It looked like onions, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, there's dirt. And I guess she must have got embarrassed. I guess it's stuff she brings to the gravesite or whatever. And they were like flower bulbs. And she goes, "Get the fuck out of there!" You know, total Boston. Get the fuck out of none of your business. And she like pushed me, and I went, "Don't fucking!" And I was like, "Oh my God, I almost fucking whacked." But it's like, oh, this is where all this shit. Like, Dawn grabbed me. I was like, okay, I get it.
This answers so many questions about you.
Oh, dude, you don't even understand. 3 days. My mom's Vegas. I can do 3 days, and I just want to go home. I'm done.
I think my stuff's all internal. Like my stuff, like I've been thinking about this a lot lately. You watch all these comics get canceled, and you realize a lot of it's whatever the fuck. My theory is like it's the thing they need to get by. Their treat, right? Like their treat. Like for me, my treat, it's alcohol or pot. Is like I want to get fucked up at the end of the day and shut it down. And so I look forward to that. And so for some people, it's sex. A lot. I mean, sex for a lot of people. Yeah. And or like, Army Hammer allegedly was really into like violent shit.
That has a name. Like there's an actual, they talk about that. I read this whole article on it. And of course I'm like, Bobby, I fucking forget everything. And I can't remember what it's called, but it's an actual name where you get turned on by not necessarily eating people, but by talking about it or people talking about eating you. And that's your sexual fetish. Like it's like,
this is the tip of the iceberg. Cause all the kids this isn't super common with us because we didn't have websites where it was dedicated to that. Right.
Yeah.
But there are websites dedicated to that. Like when I talked to a dominatrix when the Army Hammer stuff went down, that was a friend of mine that we had worked with, me and Tom. And I said, so what's your take on this? She goes, he got fucked. She's like, his partner kind of screwed him over. You trust that the person you're playing these games with isn't going to rat you out. And this is your fetish. And he got fucked. And I was like, wow. But this is the tip of the iceberg because all these kids now are on their phones with access to the most fucked up shit you've ever seen. And so one day, these Army Hammers or whatever these guys that are into like allegedly the Dodgers pitchers into very violent sex. I remember the first time I heard a woman say, by the way, can you guys edit a name out?
No, we're live.
Okay.
Just rhyming.
Eddie Fernandez. Bobby, it was like when I was living in that house in the hills, and Eddie came downstairs white as a ghost in the morning, and he was like, that was fucked up. And I was like, what? And he goes, you know that chick? He was up on the couch with the chick. I go, yeah. And he goes, we were having sex and she asked me to choke her. And I go, what? Like you're talking about two Florida kids, right? No porn access at all. And he goes, she asked me to choke her. I go, what did you do? And she goes, Bert, I was the worst killer ever. I barely put my hand on her throat. He's like, I just can't do it. I can't do it, man. I just want to fuck you. And he goes, I couldn't even have an orgasm. He was like, as soon as he said I wanted to choke you, I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? But there are women that like to be choked.
Oh yeah.
And that's what's fucking crazy is like, for me, I'm a prude. I've never choked Leanne. I've slapped her on the ass, maybe legit during sex, maybe 10 times.
What if you tried to choke Leanne? You think she'd be into it?
She'd be so fucking livid. She'd be
so?
livid. livid.
I don't know. My wife is the same way, but I think all of a sudden one day I'd stick a finger in her ass and she'd be like, well, I like that.
Nope. I did that.
You knew my wife didn't like that.
No, I tried to put a finger in Leanne's ass recently, and she cut me off so quickly. And what she said, she goes, and just Leanne's
In her voice.
in her matter-of-fact voice, "You trying to put a finger in my asshole?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Don't." And I why? She goes, "I don't like it." And I was like, "Okay."
I tried to get, I years ago when I was living in New York, I found, I went to my iTunes books. I have like 2 books, The Power of Positive Thinking and, whatever,
I would have guessed that.
how to make it. And then maybe a Harry Potter book, right? That's all I ever bought.
Those are the most important books. That's all you need.
Then I go and I look down, there's like 50 other books that were bought on my account. And it was all, Arrested, Rage Love.
Late porn. That's
it was
late
all-
porn.
It was all fucking porn books for women.
Yep.
Please tell me Dawn bought those.
Of course she did. She bought them. So I'm like, what the fuck? My wife's into some fucked up shit. So she's upstairs and we just came back walking around New York. She was in just a sundress. And I go, "Hey, Dawn." She goes, "What?" Fucking Boston. "What?"
You duck.
And I go, "Dawn." She goes, "What?" And I go, "Come down here." I go, "Keep the dress, lose the panties."
Ooh, hey.
Yeah, it was sexy until she went, "What?"
Oh, well.
I went, "Keep the dress, lose the panties." And then she went, "Ooh." And I was like, ugh.
Ooh.
So she came down. She threw the panties first. We had a spiral staircase. She threw the panties. And then she comes down and I fucking put her up against the wall. I made her hair into a handle. And we're going at it. And at one point I leaned on the shelf and she had all of our cologne, her perfume and my cologne on a shelf. It looked really nice, all these pretty bottles, but there was like 100 bottles of shit.
How much perfume do you guys have?
We had a lot. And I grabbed her hair and I go, "You like that?" And I leaned on the shelf and the fucking shelf fell. And 100 bottles of perfume and cologne just smacked on the ground. And it was just me and her tiptoeing around, trying not to slice our feet up and going, "Get a towel. I'm getting a towel."
Did
Like
you
you
at
guys were
least get
fucking
to
in an Uber.
finish?
By the way, I started laughing because you go, "Keep the dress, lose the panties," and I had a visual of her coming down with nothing on but the panties on her head, and you goes, "What's that?" And she goes, "I thought you said put on a headdress and use the panties."
Yeah, we just spent we had a weekend in a hotel. Max stayed the night at my mom's. We go back to the hotel after this wedding, and I'm like, "All right, here's the night." I went in, I baby wiped my dick off, gave it a nice
Wow, what
Gentlemen.
romantic.
Gentlemen.
a nice after show, fucking gonna get a quick blowjob fucking thing, right? Wipe my dick off, I'm ready to go. I come back and she's in the bed. And I go,
In a sexy way.
you wanna get, she goes, "No, you stay over there." I go, "What?" She goes, "Dick Van Dyke, you over there, over here, I'm gonna get some sleep."
Wow.
So I slept in one bed, she slept in the fucking other bed.
Did you tell her your baby wiped your dick?
No, I fucking was I was like, whatever. What am I gonna do?
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it was fucked up. I'm gonna have to attack my wife.
My wife will disappear sometimes and take too long, and I'm like, she ruins the surprise of like coming out in something sexy because she takes so fucking long. I know what she's doing, so I just by the time she comes out, I'm like, all right, cool. It's like over it. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's a little selfish of me, I guess. Now that I say it out loud,
They should do it. They should do a show. They should do a TV show. Like, remember, This Is Your Life, but they should do a show with husbands, and they bring out like a picture of your wife's vagina before kids, and they go, "This is your wife's vagina before kids," and you're like, "Shut up!" That's so
my wife
crazy.
had 2 C-sections, so I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know what it's like to trying to make love to a
My
porn.
wife, the last time I saw my wife's pussy, it looked like Foster Brooks at a roast.
Googling Foster Brooks.
You know Foster
Yep.
Brooks,
Who?
drunk old white guy.
No,
Oh, yeah. If you saw, you know.
I think it's still. I think her vagina is still good, but I just would like to compare and contrast with like the original one.
What's the elasticity like?
I
My.
don't know. I mean, I don't remember. I don't remember. Like, I have no comparison because all I know is the one I have now.
Right.
I bet it was super, super tight. I bet it was super tight.
I've heard, and I don't know if this is true because I don't have any kids, but I've heard that a lot of the times, like, and this is one of the many reasons I'm not doing it, that it'll rip from like vag to asshole. And so a lot of the times, yeah. So a lot of times they'll just cut it. But I've heard, and I don't know if this is true, but they sew it back up. And a lot of the times, because of the way they sew it up, the vag will be just as tight, if not tighter, after.
It's called the husband stitch, and they don't do it anymore. They used to do it.
That's lame.
They used to do it and make it like super tiny, so like a fucking 8th grader could barely fit through there.
So it's like doing
dudes
anal,
were blowing their wives' pussies out.
Oh,
No,
I said sew it up closed. I want to see if I can break through the walls, like one of those guys, January 6th. Those guys that were Americans.
I don't know. I have not. Both my babies are huge. I can't imagine them coming through my wife's vagina.
I'm scared to have sex with my wife because we haven't had sex in a little while, and if it's just loose, I'm just like, who are you fucking? Like,
please be a picture. Oh, I fucked her.
throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
A picture of vagina. Yeah,
that's what my wife's pussy looked like.
Oh, dude, we had this is secret time. I was shaving Leanne's nether regions. I've been gone for 3 months, and so I thought you were
going to show me a picture.
No. Well, no, we're in the house. We're in the house, and we're in a brand new bedroom, and the lighting isn't right yet. We haven't gotten the lighting dialed in, so I was like, I can't really see anything, and I might need glasses. So I grab my phone so I can light it like this, and I go, here, hold the light so I can see what I'm doing. And she goes, okay, and she goes in and hits the camera button, and
hot.
it is her doing a perfect picture of her snatch, and I go like this. I go, here, let me see the camera. And I go, and she goes, are you taking a picture? And I wanted to go, you're taking a picture. You didn't even know about it. But I didn't take the picture. I felt she has a rule. I cannot have any nudes of her because she goes, I know you'll show them. I probably would.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
You think so?
Yeah.
My phone is hooked up to my Echo in my kitchen, and photos come up all the time on the fucking Echo. So I can't take a picture of my wife's vagina because it will just come up on the fucking.
Scar your children or your son for life.
One time we had some strippers in the studio and they were drinking tequila, and we were seeing how far we could push it. And at one point, the girl was bent over and she was shoving a Sharpie in her ass. And then they were trying to get that big cork Patron bottle up her ass. And we had a million pictures of it. And I got home and I sent Bobby like 10 pictures of it. And him and Dawn were watching a movie, and they just came up on this.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
I miss those days of radio when you'd go in and it would be like, yeah, we're doing the MILF contest today. Did you want to drink some tequila? And you're like, oh, can we cancel all of the radio for the day? I'm just staying here.
We had a good run. We would just sit around and we'd think a contest to do of just basically we had oldest naked chick, the oldest chick that would come down and get naked. Like if we had a 62-year-old
back then, it was probably 50, and you're like, whoa, whoa.
But if we had a chick coming down and she was like 60 years old, and we're like, all right, if nobody comes in before 10 o'clock, you're the winner. And then like at 9:30, a 70-year-old would show up. Like those are the good. We had mother-daughter makeout for tickets. We had a girl with a vaginal piercing, and we hung fishing line with a hook to it, and we put things on the floor, and she had to lift it up like it was a human crane game. There's just so many fun things we could do before we were worried about getting fired every 5 minutes.
We had our wives play with our genitals to see which ones that they thought were ours.
Wait, hold on, let's explain this. We put a sheet up. We stood up on a chair behind the sheet, and our blindfolded wives had to reach in, play with our nuts, and then all of our wives had to identify whose nuts were their husband's nuts, and they all got them right.
And by the way, yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, Amanda grabbed mine and goes, "These are Bert's next."
Yeah, that disturbs me about you is that one time we were watching something and somebody had a weird penis on TV, and Amanda goes, "That looks like Bert's penis." And I go, "Why? Why do you know
How does she know that? So
he's been naked for so long.
Back in the day, before Me Too, you could get naked in front of friends the way Christians would.
Yeah,
convert Indians to their religion.
I remember Opie and Anthony was so fucked up. I remember
Opie and Anthony. Hold on, Opie and Anthony. For the record, I'm definitely not talking shit, but this was Opie's doing. Opie had such an evil streak to him that a simple game would go fucking maniacal. Like, let's see who can put a wiffle ball bat up their ass the furthest. And all of a sudden, you're watching a stunt girl going, like.
The first time I went into studio ever, when they were on XM, I can't even imagine this on radio now. They were doing the wiffle ball bat challenge.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing where they had a wiffle ball bat up on the wall, and it had different markings on it, how far they could get it up a woman's vajay. And if you looked on the bat at the markings were different colors. Like whatever's inside a vagina would
like the residue.
It would stain the bat and it was different. Like every woman had a different.
They used the same bat for each woman.
They used yes, they used the same bat. It was fucking nuts because
they had a quiver of bats. They're like, pick your one, and the girl goes like the natural. After his bat's broken, it's like, is a good bat. Wonder Girl,
like a Harry Potter wand. They called them.
The wand opens, dude. Can I tell you? I think if Opie and Anthony, it would never happen, but if they teamed up and just did those stunts that you cannot do anymore again, that would be fucking epic.
It would be epic for a day until everything was shut down again.
Yeah,
you were eliminated off. Where could you do that? There's not one.
The internet.
Yeah, just your own. Like, I mean, Anthony has a compound, so he can kind of do what he wants on there, right?
Tom and I, for Two Bears, One Cave, we tethered our penises together with electrical wire and had a dominatrix shock us at the same time. I mean, and I remember Tom going, "Is this going to fuck our careers up?" And I was like, "What careers?" Next thing you know, I'm doing a movie. I'm like, "Hey, how do we get that off the internet?" I remember Tom said to me at in that moment, she's shocking our dicks, seeing who could take more pain.
Yeah.
And then we get done. Tom and our dicks are connected with a wire. She's holding on to the charger, and she goes, "So you guys want to have orgasms?" And Tom and I looked at each other like, "Is that on that machine?" And she was like, "No, just take you to the other room and just jack you guys off." And we were like, "No, we're good." And that's a wrap.
No,
I know. She said actually she didn't even say she was going to jack us off. She said she'd get a vibrator and make us come within a minute. Nope. And I was like,
I know what that means.
No, it's on
your ass. No,
it's on the dick. On the dick.
On the dick.
She goes, "I hit a place on your dick. I'll make you come within like a minute." And I was
do you know where it is? For research
I've been looking.
Okay. I'm just curious.
I'm actually turned on right now just thinking of your dicks connected.
Would Liam be mad?
Yeah.
And for all argument's sake, Tom's your best friend.
Yeah.
Would you not? Would you guys couldn't have that kind of pact where it'd be like, "Hey, let's pretend that didn't happen"?
We have some packs inside that.
Okay.
We definitely have some packs inside that day that are secret times that we'll never. I told him yesterday. I said there's some secret times in there that you're just like I got naked a lot, way too often, and we're like, yeah, let's just pull all that out of there. Just stuff that you don't want your kids ever seeing or anyone ever knowing about. Where you're like, but that's my problem is that all the Opie and Anthony stuff. I would be the one that would be wanting to get into it. Like I'd be the one going, see if you can put the wiffle ball in my ass,
and you'd win.
Oh my god!
Oh, there it is.
That's so much sadder than I thought it was going to be.
Which fucked up is wiffle ball bats are like $3. They couldn't go get extra wiffle ball bats.
That looked like it was used in a practice hate crime in Staten Island.
But if you look,
listen, Joey, you're 13. This is how it's going to work. When they come into our neighborhoods, and we're going to work on Vinny, okay? Pretend it's him.
Look at some of the vagina actually wiped off the Sharpie marker on the first notch.
By the way, I feel like all those girls left with gonorrhea. Like I feel like there's no way that they didn't. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I remember Luis Gomez, who fucking say do whatever you want, Luis. Him and our kids are friends now, but when we did the YKWd Live, one of the first ones with Bailey J, we had a blowjob competition. And he went and bought a dick that looked real. And I actually put it through my zipper so it looked like my dick.
I've seen this.
And he sucked me. I mean, let me tell you something. Luis Gomez.
I've seen that too, yeah.
gives. I mean,
tell you something, Bobby.
professional head. And then when he got on Last Comic Standing, I got the phone call. Hey, dude. Hey, dude, you gotta take that down, dude. You gotta take that down. NBC doesn't want anything. And I was like, dude, come on, you fucking.
Do you know that almost ruined our relationship, you and I?
Why?
Because the first time I saw that was the first time I did YKWd with Lewis and Soder and Gary Veeder and all those guys.
Yeah.
And you showed that video, and I had no idea what was going on. And it really looked like
so real.
It looked like it was your dick.
It looked so real that I thought Bobby's going hard as fuck.
I was like, you were like, I don't care. You want to suck it, suck it. He was like, I'll suck it. I was like, and I'm watching it, and I'm looking at everybody. I'm like, is he really sucking his dick? That confused me, and I thought this is too weird for me.
We redid the competition a couple years later at Skankfest, but we made sure we got a blue dick, so you could tell that it wasn't a fucking dick.
Wait, does anyone have a picture of that? Because I would love to see that again.
I think
I remember seeing that and believing it was real, and I was like, and Lewis has a huge dick sucking smile on his face.
He just want to throw up.
He did. Did you know? But
Does
you
she
know,
have a gaming chair?
Yeah, she has an OnlyFans page, and she's a gamer.
By the way, I didn't know you're not supposed to. I subscribe to everyone's OnlyFans page.
What are you talking about?
Like, I just, like, if I meet someone, they're like, yeah, I got an OnlyFans page. Like, oh, I subscribe. And then they're like, oh, okay.
You get naked on your OnlyFans page?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No,
Not fully. I don't do full nudity. I don't do any pussy shots, but
like
I do topless, lewd, where like I'm pulling it up.
So fucked up because
Lube?
the first time
Lube.
the first time that we did the chip show, and I was like, we were talking about you being topless, and I was like, yeah, go ahead and get topless, and everybody's like, Calta is such a creep, bro. I'm like, she's got a fucking OnlyFans page. It's not like I was asking her to do something
that I
plucked
haven't
out of
done
church and
before.
was trying to get her naked.
Oh, Cowhead used to have the topless car wash.
Oh, it's
Watching girls eat shit.
Yeah.
Wait,
Eat
what's the
shit.
topless car wash?
We did for like 5 years. We did a topless car wash.
I bet I got pictures.
The Friday before the 4th of July, and we'd have a strip club. We'd get a big tent, and cars would pull in one end, and then all the naked girls would come and soap up the car and wash it down, and guys would just tip the girls.
That's
and the girls
awesome.
made a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And it was fucking awesome. It was great. And I sat there and periscoped it one year. I periscoped the whole thing, and then Periscope canceled me. But yeah, that was great. And then we eventually just
Where in Tampa did we do that? It had to be out in
we
Ybor,
did it
right?
a couple of times. We did it one. Were you there?
It's right here.
The Gold Club.
Cal, it's right
yeah.
here.
Yeah. That was the Gold Club. That was a good one.
Here, I don't know if you can see nudity in it, but this was it.
Getting close. Oh, a little bit. Kinda.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Oh my God, what is that?
That's
it was
hot. Jesus.
fully naked girls. There was probably like 50 of them, and they would just get on the windshield and just soap. They'd soap each other up, dude. It was insane.
They have
X-Pac
those.
came-
Oh, sorry.
X-Pac, the wrestler, he tore his asshole on a turnbuckle one time.
I saw that.
Yeah, he went to Bronco Bust, and his asshole caught on the
Oof.
turnbuckle and ripped it, and he had to
So
wear
bad.
a diaper. And then he got fucked up and came to our car wash. And I have pictures of him and the girls, him in his diaper, and the girls all naked cleaning cars.
Oh, those were the fucking days of radio.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. Everybody was like, it's gonna come back. That's never
It's not coming back.
going to come back.
But can I tell you something? We don't not do that stuff anymore. Nobody said, hey, you can't do it anymore. We just realized that like it's not as to be shocking now. You literally have to kill somebody. It's not shocking anymore. Nudity is not shocking.
No.
It's not. So it's like
What are you,
not.
Dutch? Yes, it is. I love tits.
Yeah, but
Show
it's
me that-
fun.
Show me that picture of that homeless pussy. I looked at it like 19 times. I almost jerked off to it. Are you crazy?
If you can do a fun naked thing, it's fun. Like I don't know. It's not original anymore. That's why we don't do it. It's not that we can't do it. We can do whatever the fuck we want. It's just
Yeah.
not original, and it's also not good for radio because you can't see it. If you're able to come out and do it or watch it on the video, then it's good. But
There's a lot of things that were really interesting in radio back in the day that don't translate. Like, I remember listening to Andy Dick call in Hammered to Stern and being like, this is the most riveting thing I've ever heard. But what you were hearing was someone just be open and honest.
right.
And I think with podcasting also, people would rather hear a good story than just hear about you, someone possibly being naked that they can't see, you know?
Right. Yeah, I guess. I mean,
you can't shove a wiffle ball about anybody's pussy. I can tell you that. That'll get you shut
Can
down.
you do the 50-gallon drum challenge? That's what it was called, right? 50-gallon drum.
I don't know
What's
that.
They did that on Opie and Anthony too, where they had girls stripped down to I think just thongs or maybe fully naked, and they put them in those big 50-gallon drums, and they would just throw disgusting shit on them, like fish heads, guts, shit like that. And whoever made it the longest won money.
They had cherry darts, which I played, which was kind of fun.
Cherry darts is good.
What's
you
cherry
put
darts?
whipped cream in the girl's asshole, and you got cherries, and you played darts, and you had to throw the closest to the asshole.
I would imagine there's a few women's organizations that would find that dehumanizing.
To me, though, if the girl agrees to do it and she wants to do it, she wants to do it. Isn't that what the fuck feminism fought for so long, is to give women the choice to do what the fuck they want? If they want to do that, cool. If they don't.
Take your top off. Show it.
But that's the weird thing is that, like, oh my God.
Oh, wow.
I remember seeing this and going, oh, this is legit.
Yeah.
This is the only time I ever liked Lewis.
Yeah, the funniest part is that Bailey J was supposed to go after him, and she went, "You win."
Wow.
Everything was for nothing. Look at Bailey in the background. I mean, dude, let me tell you something. Lewis gave, I mean, if you watch that, he gave perfect head.
You know he's done it before.
There's no way, and I told him this. I'm not trashing him behind his back. I've said to him, dude, you've sucked a dick, because there's no way that you grab my dick, spit on it the way you're supposed. When you spit on a dick, it's this. It's just a little bit, and then he just pushed that stuff all the way down my shaft, and then did that, and then reached in the back and pulled me into him like that. I mean, I filled up a little bit. That's how great his blowjob was.
I mean, maybe he just watches a lot of blowjob porn.
I would take a blowjob off of Lewis more than my wife. If
I
Lewis,
would too. I take a blowjob from Lewis in a heartbeat.
oh,
I watch a lot of those DIY shows, and I can't build anything, so that's not true.
Good point. Yeah, same actually.
Yeah, but I think giving a blowjob is like riding in a convertible. You don't need to own one to know how to behave in it. You know, like, I think once you get a convertible, you're like, oh yeah, arms out, hair's blowing. Yeah, I know how to do this. I don't need to do this all the time. I think I would really I would give a great blowjob. Do you
think your wives would be mad if you guys got a blowjob from a dude?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like a little shocked.
My wife and I had a conversation one time, and because we're so different sexually, and I go, I've done so much shit that, like, there's nothing I haven't done that I want to try. I've done some crazy shit. And I go, what's the craziest thing you think I've ever done? And she goes, like, I was expecting her to be like threesomes. And she goes, oh, don't tell me if you've ever done gay stuff. And I went, who the fuck do you think I am? There's never been any gay stuff ever.
Well, on that note, let's wrap it up. I haven't done any gay stuff. I mean, I've come close.
Wait. Didn't you get a steak for something one time, Bobby?
I was molested, honey. That's a big difference.
Oh, you were. Wait, what?
I was molested. It wasn't.
Jesus
it wasn't
Christ.
Gay. Yes, I was molested.
That's horrible. How old were you?
I don't fuck. I was
22.
I was too young. That's the thing that I was talking about with somebody too. Sex back in the day, we weren't taught sex. Like, I teach my kid when it pops up. Like, we saw two guys, we were watching whatever fucking food thing on Netflix, and these two guys, drag queens. And he's like, Dad, are those guys? I go, yeah, those are guys. He goes, they dress like women. I go, yeah, some guys feel more comfortable dressed like women. They just like he goes, oh, all right. I go, do you want to dress like a woman? He goes, no. I don't want to dress like a woman. And I was like, okay, cool. We moved on.
Bobby goes like this.
That was the first time I ever saw my son was watching Glee when he was like 5, and there were two guys and they were leaning in to kiss, and I was watching him watch it, and they leaned in and they kissed, and then he looked at me and goes, Daddy. I go, yeah, and he goes, those two boys just kissed, and I go, I know. Sometimes boys love each other, and that's what they do. And he looked back at it, and he looked at me, and he goes, gross. I was like,
mine was I was watching Law and Order, or no, it wasn't Law and Order. It was L.A. Law. Was that the name of it? L.A. Law.
Yeah.
And there was a scene where a boy went in to talk to like Corbin Burnson, and the boy was in prison. He was like 18, Corbin Burton goes, so how you doing? He goes, I'm not doing good.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, what's going on? And he goes, I mean, they had sex with me last night. And I started laughing. And my dad's like, what the fuck are you laughing about? And I was like, hey, Dad, you can't have sex with a guy. And my dad's like, oh, yeah, you can. And I go, how? And he goes, think about it. And I went, well, I go, how? I don't. What are they like? I don't know. Understand? And he goes, they fucked him in the ass, Bert. They held him down and they fucked him in the ass. And I was like, oh God. I was like, I'm going to bed now.
You're gonna tell me in the movie Rockstar with what's it, Wahlberg, when he fucked that chick with the short hair and the next day she pissed standing up, you didn't fill up a little bit? You're not a man. You're not a man.
Wait, hang on. If intimacy you can't get guilty for getting turned on by intimacy. In Brokeback Mountain, when he spits on his dick and fucks him in the ass, there's a moment where you're like, hey, love is love.
Love is love. And you know what? A camping trip's a camping trip.
A camping trip's a camping trip. I can see myself there. It was so that was the realest that was the realest moment I've ever seen in a movie. When he spits on his hand and puts it on his dick to fuck him in the ass, I was like, man, whoever wrote that scene's been there. Like, that's real. I fucking, could you, for an Oscar, could you do that, Bobby?
Oh, I would do worse. Listen, I'd do the brown bunny when she just sucked him off. Listen, for an Oscar. But it would be funny because you make a movie. I wonder if they were like, hey, dude, I just want to try this one thing on this take. If we could just, okay, cool. All right, Heath. And he goes, and he's like, I love it. Cut. That was beautiful. Where did you cut? I don't know. I just thought I spit. That would make it more real, because we're out here.
Let me ask you a question. You can do that? You can do a gay scene in a movie like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger. Now put in fucking Steve Buscemi.
Jack Black?
Jack Black, yeah.
They're like, hey, Bert, we want to do a comedic Brokeback Mountain. We want you to fuck Jack Black in the ass. I'd be like,
Fatback Mountain.
Yeah, Backpack Mountain. Camelback Mountain.
It's just at a KOA.
You know what's so funny is now having been in a movie, because I never could put perspective on things. There are things that actors won't do because they go, no, you'll use it. And you're like, like there were things in the movie where my sense of humor is a little fucking aggressive. And I would throw a joke out there that was maybe like too far. And people would be like, you would see an actor go, I don't think it's funny. And you're like, well, just try it. And then people will be like, no, because you'll use it. And you're like, oh, that's right. They will use it. Like if you say it, they'll use it. So if Ang Lee or whoever did Brokeback Mountain was like, do one where you spit on your dick and spit on your hand and then rub it on your dick. I wonder if there's one where Heath Ledger's like, I mean, I'm not like, okay, are you going to use it? And he's like, no, I'm never going to use it. I'm never going to use it. And by the way, I did everything. Like anytime anyone said anything in this movie that were like, hey, just do this, I'm like, sure. And they're like, whoa, aren't you worried they're going to use it? And I was like, let them. I don't give a fuck.
I feel like I'd be that person too. I feel like all the time, even in my streams and stuff, I say things. And I'm like, well, that's out there in the internet now, like forever.
Oh,
why did I say?
I didn't do a podcast for 3 months, right? 4 months almost. And then I did my first Two Bears, One Cave yesterday with Tom. And I called Nadav probably 10 times and was like, hey, can you take this out? Can you take that out? Can you take this out? You get really, when you're doing a lot of podcasts, you get used to just being like, almost the repetition of just putting stuff out there. It doesn't matter, fucking whatever. And then when you haven't spoken publicly for like 3 months, I got very concerned of how I'm representing certain things where you go, because I was talking about the movie and I was like, I don't know if I'm comfortable saying that yet. Like, I don't know if that now's when you tell that story, you know?
Yeah. You got to be a little, I mean, listen, Bert, this movie's probably going to be massive. I mean, and you got to be careful because what happens when people explode and go to the next level, there's a group of people that are like, let's get them. Let's take them down. They just don't like it. And this, you do have to be a little careful with what the
my issue will always be talking reckless. That's it. I mean, I've never been like I'm not a sex guy, obviously. That's not my issue. I'm not a dehumanizer. Like I'm pretty good with like making sure people feel good.
Yeah.
But talking reckless and my issue will be telling a story and not saying the right words and not correcting myself or catching myself. Right. And then someone go, you said you beat a man to death. And I was like, no, I beat a guy in a foot race. Did I say I beat a man to death? And I'm like, yeah. And then I'll be like, oh, I don't know. I got to laugh. I just kept going with it.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like when you do so many podcasts and you do so many things, you're talking so much. There's going to be times when something comes out and you can't, like if you're talking for 3 hours a day every day or 5 hours a day every day and doing these constant things, you're sharing so much of yourself. I feel like eventually something's going to come out that someone's going to get pissed off about.
It's harder for funny people too, because we're so honest and intimate. Our thing is letting everybody in. That's what we do. You let everybody in on the deepest, darkest secrets of your life. Like even the story machine. If that happened to a regular person, they would never tell anybody. That would just like, fuck, dude. And maybe 1 or 2 people, dude, I got to tell you this thing that happened. It was fucking crazy. You told the world, and then you made a movie about it. And then you made $10 million on t-shirts about it. I mean, that's what comics do, is we fucking reveal everything. So it's it's like, that's what made podcasting awesome. That's what makes comedy awesome. But it also what fucking kind of fucked it. Because we didn't know there was a bunch of people out there going, oh, we got it now, you know? Yesterday,
I was just talking to a Cowhead about, like, right before this started, about someone who's getting canceled. And it's a classic case of how we got where we are today. Like, we got where we are today by going on radio, going on podcasts, and talking absolutely reckless, right? Yeah. So it's almost like a deal with the devil. You go on, you're a fucking lunatic, and you get fans. Fans go, he's fun to listen to on podcasts. You never know what he's going to say, right? And then all of a sudden you get a career, and you have this body of work, like a 10-year chunk of work of thousands, tens of thousands of hours of you speaking drunk, high, incoherent at times. Like I did a 5-hour podcast with Rogan that I remember the first hour of. That's it. I have no idea what I said. And, by the way, this is like, I'm also an agreeable motherfucker. So you say crazy shit, and I'm going to go, yeah. I laugh at jokes that are fucking horrible. Yeah. And then you go, I was driving last night, and I was like, would I do it differently? Fuck no. I got to where I am by making my bones the way I did. And the other thing is, I think those fans that have ridden with you, when they come for you, when they come for you for like just talking reckless or just being a comic or just
no crimes.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you are committing crimes, I think that's a little different.
A little different,
a little different because the other thing is, and this is my big takeaway, you can't. I could make this very clear, but you can't be disloyal to the branding you offered them. If you offer them branding day one, Bill Burr's a perfect example of this. Bill Burr said, I'm a fucking moron. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Fucking white women. Let me tell you something about that. Here's the problem with that. But Bill's branding has been consistent from day one until SNL. Like, I'm going to fucking talk crazy. If you're going to like it or you don't like it. If you don't like it, try it the best you can. If you like it, come find me. Yeah. And he's never changed brands. Meaning,
I branded mediocrity.
No, your brand, Bobby, is like, that's the thing, is like, no one's coming for you because you've always been very honest on stage, off stage, on podcasts. Even if it's not a popular opinion, you will be honest with your opinion. Where you get caught up is when you present yourself as a good guy or a woke dude or a one thing, and then America finds out, oh, you fuck chicks on the road, you cheat on your wife, you do this, you do that. That's when they change. That's when I think it gets confusing. And I think that's what happened with Ellen. Everyone thought Ellen was like their America's best friend. Mm-hmm. And then they realized she's just a person who's been a celebrity and had a fucking tough road of celebrity her whole fucking life, being the one gay person in the room when no one was cool with it for fucking 35 years. And they're like, oh, she can also be a cunt sometimes. And everyone's like, she's a cunt? Well, I don't want to deal with Ellen. And I'm like, I'm a ride or die. I'll take Ellen. Yeah, I'll go down on the ship with Ellen.
Who gives a fuck if Ellen was mean to the people?
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, seriously. I watched that happen to a streamer, my favorite streamer on Twitch, and I've been watching him for like 5 years now. And he's one of those dudes that for the longest time, everybody thought he was asexual. He doesn't talk about sex. Like, he wasn't super like Lily White or Milquetoast or whatever. He just didn't get into that kind of stuff. And it was interesting because there was a document that came out where a bunch of girls accused him of sleeping with them. And it's of his fans. Like he was sleeping with his fans, which they were all overage. It was all consenting. They were consenting adults. There was no real issue, but people like still freaked out because they didn't have that view of him. It was like, he doesn't do that kind of stuff. His name is Vine Sauce. His name is Vinny. He's just,
there's another guy in Tampa that was the same way. He didn't do anything wrong. He just had sex with some of his fans, and he was married, and they ended up ruining his whole career.
There's a Christian comedian.
You're supposed to fucking bang your fans.
No, you're not. That's actually. We were on the tour bus in hot summer nights, and it came out. A lot of female comedians were like, all these male comics that are using their fans as people to fuck need to change their perspective. And I remember looking at my phone on a tour bus of male comics, and I was like, bro, you're not allowed to fuck your fans. And everyone, woke or unwoke, was like, hold on, wait, what? I was like, yeah, you're not allowed to fuck your fans. And I remember everyone being like, wait, then why did we get into this? Like, hold on, that's the only reason I got into this.
I didn't get into this for money. Let me tell you something. Back in Boston, sexy Bobby with no sleeves going on at the Colloons, fucking going, fucking. I got into it. My wife was a fan that I banged on a rock. All right.
I remember when we started, there was one African American comic that would go on late night at the Boston and stand at the door as girls walked out and be like, "Did you like the show? Did you like the show? Did you like the show? Did you like the show?"
Well, also you're like in a unique position where you're this famous person, you're hilarious, and you have these fans that are literally throwing themselves at you. What are you supposed to do? Be like, "Oh no, I'm too good of a guy." Like what? It doesn't make any sense.
You and then you gave them an orgasm. You're a pretty fucking good guy.
Yeah. I've never. Well, obviously, I've been married, and I was never good before. I never had fans before I was married. I've never fucked a fan, obviously, but I can imagine that being a Pandora's box.
Yeah.
And being like, I can't put the
internet now.
Oh my god! Like I've never. You want to know what I've never done? I've never looked in my Instagram general.
Oh.
So I'm sitting with Ari, and Ari's like, I'm looking at my things, and he goes, someone messaged me, and I go, so like the 99 requests or general, that's all play video from Liz, right? That's just like women. Ari goes, that's women like saying like, hey, you're in town, let me show you a good time or whatever. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. And he goes, you've never opened that? And I was like, I can't, because if I did,
yeah.
Oh, one time there was one girl who sent me a message. What happens is it'll go into your primary if you repost something of theirs, right?
Yeah.
So I reposted something. She said something complimentary. It was like during my special. I reposted it, and then she could access my primary, whatchamacallit. And then she sends me, I forget the thing exactly, but I remember I was in Philadelphia with everyone that I was on tour with, and she replies, and I'm so new to it, I reply back like, oh, cool. And she's like, I'd really like to get in stand-up. And I was like, well, get on stage, whatever. And then she sends like a video of her smoking a bowl in a like a hockey jersey, and that's it. And I'm like, and I think it's for everyone. And I was like, I just look at it and then swipe, and then it says viewed, and then I said, and then another one and another one, and she's sending them directly to me, and I'm looking at them.
You're saying this like I don't live this life every day.
and then I realize she thinks we're talking.
Yeah,
and I'm not talking, but I'm watching her videos thinking. I don't know why they're in that thing. And then fucking one of the guys on tour with me was like, hey man, you got to get out of there. But then there's a part of you that's like, you're getting attention from someone.
Yeah.
And you're like, someone's sending me videos, and you're like, I just had to block her. I was like,
you blocked her?
Like I had to.
I tell my wife knows that I get a bunch of nude stuff and all, and she doesn't care. Sometimes girls will be like, your wife's so hot, I would totally have a threesome with you and your wife. And they'll send me a picture, and I'll look at my wife and I'll go, hey, this beautiful naked lady would like to have a threesome with us. And my wife does the same thing. She goes, tell her no thank you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
now I want to look at Liz's video.
Yeah, me too.
I want to say something to both of you fucking assholes. I don't get any of that shit, Mike Calta.
Scaring a Mexican mom.
You don't? Are you checking your general box?
Yeah, have you?
General, and all I get is, hey, dude, you want to do fly fishing when you're in town?
That's cool though.
I get fucking dudes going, dude, there's a great cigar place. Hey, you like ramen? And that's it. I never get, and any girl that does, because I do click on the hot chicks with the little photo, it just goes, hey, and it's a fucking spamming
It's
horse.
a bot. Yeah.
It's a bot. It's never been real. I've never had a girl send me anything. Nobody sends me shit at all. At all. I get
No tits?
I get it, and I encourage people at the Mike Calta Show on Instagram or at Magnet Head on Snapchat. Please send.
That's where you're messing up, Bobby. You got to ask for it. You got to be like,
I've
hey, send
asked
me
for
boobs.
it for 10 years. I've asked for like a nudie pitch. I get nothing. I got one lady sent me a tit, and one tit was big and the other tit was small, and the nipples were different sizes. I almost threw up.
I wonder if for a charity, for like a Make-A-Wish, what if I gave someone my Snapchat and was like some 15-year-old kid who's got like a month to live, and I was like, hey man, this is my official Snapchat. I don't really use it, but here, man, have fun. And just he'd be like, hey, this is Bert. Send me nudes, and just watch people pour in, and he's like, hey, more.
I'm gonna get cancer just so I can get that Snapchat.
Carmen, who works on my radio show, gets dick pics sent to her all the time, and she saves them all. She has thousands of dick pics.
Wow.
Okay. Pivot. There are women who make legit money appraising dudes' dicks.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that before.
People ask me about that on OnlyFans if I do dick ratings. Like that's something that people ask for. And you get two different people. So you get the people that want the dick rating where they want it to be nice, and then you get people who want you to just straight up shit all over their dick. Not literally. Some of those people too. But
that would ruin it for me. If next time I try to have sex, I'd just be hearing you in my head go, "It's not even big. It's not."
Like your tiny little piece of shit dick, like stuff like that. Like people are really fucking into that. It's a
I'd put it next to a miniature car, so you're like, oh my god,
it's huge.
But I want Carmen.
I go, hey, Isla, let me see your hand.
Oh no!
I want Carmen to make a coffee book
Jesus
of all the dicks that's been sent to her.
Here we go. Interesting you'd say that. The coffee book of vaginas.
Ooh,
Wait,
yeah.
really?
Yeah,
That's a thing?
it's like some old school pictures.
it's a little book of pussy.
Okay.
Oh my!
Yeah,
Oh my!
I know. It's like old school, right?
What's wrong with her asshole?
I wish I
think
could
she
see
probably
what
had
was
a
happening.
botched episiotomy.
Oh my! Look at the muff on that one.
There's
Yeah, this is
another
pretty
girl I
awesome.
know that she's like she's a cosplayer. Well, I don't know her, but I just know of her. She's a cosplayer and streamer, and she does the topless OnlyFans and stuff. She made a coffee table book of her tits, of just like topless photo shoots and stuff, dress up as different stuff.
We have to change topics because I'm horned up right now.
By the way, but I got to tell you, man, doing Two Bears is a different entity for me because it's a little more fat. Like this is the funnest podcast I've done in a very fucking long time. I love y'all's podcast. I really do love y'all's podcast.
Oh, thank you, brother. But I mean, you haven't done podcasts in 6 months, so that's not.
Well,
saying-
yeah.
It's like your first American hamburger when you came back.
Yeah.
It's like- listen, man. When is your movie? Can I just talk to you before we wrap this up about
Yeah.
your movie?
Yeah.
Where did you shoot it? Where was it?
We shot in Serbia.
Wow. How
3
was it?
months. It was fucking awesome. It was the greatest experience of my life. Did I say the joke to you? What was the joke I said? After you do a movie, it's almost like, what did I say?
Coming back. Yeah, I forgot.
Once you do a movie, it was the greatest experience of my life. I would totally do it again. For the first time, I'm actually like I'm getting scripts sent to me and I'm reading them and going and understanding what it means to read a script. Like I'd get scripts sent to me and know I didn't have a chance of getting the role. And now people are like legit sending me scripts and going like, hey man, are you interested in doing this project? And I'm really fascinated. I have a massive appreciation like for number one, like the people I broke balls about as a guy who never did a movie. I'll never shit on a movie again because you don't realize no one makes a movie trying to make it bad. Yeah. Everyone wants it to be the greatest movie, and sometimes things don't click, and sometimes it's out of the control of everyone. Maybe one person is just an asshole, and it fucks it up for everyone, or one person's dropping the ball, and so I'm never gonna shit on a bad movie again. I look at Kevin Hart in a very, very different light than I ever have
because he's so many movies.
No, you know what, man? He whenever I run into Kevin again, I got to apologize. He doesn't know this, but I had a running joke about him and The Rock that I would always bring up about how hard they work. And I was like, they never talk about luck. Like, you know, like you need to be, because my perspective of fame or success was that you need to get lucky. And I think, Bobby, you'll agree with this. There's so much luck that goes into this that maybe guys like, say, Rich Voss hasn't had a lot of the luck sometimes associated with his talent, and they've never connected. And so that is the thing that sometimes leapfrogs you into stardom, is just and my joke with Kevin, and I will apologize for this, was like, you know, Kevin made Soul Plane, and then he got put on timeout. But he always says, I'm the hardest working guy. And I go, if Cat Williams hadn't packed a gun in his bag to go do Fool's Gold, and Dave Chappelle hadn't gone to South Africa and run away from the Chappelle show, and they hadn't been at the studio being like, we need someone small, black, and funny, who the fuck are we going to get? And someone's like, Kevin Hart, right? And then he does Fool's Gold, and all of a sudden he's back in the fucking game, and it's a hit movie, and he's working. That was my thing, the luck. I used to say the luck. Same thing with The Rock. I had this big thing about The Rock, you know, and for me it was a joke. And then I was realized in doing this movie, oh, Kevin Hart is the hardest working man alive. Like you forget, he goes from one movie to the next movie to the next movie. Those movies are fucking 12-hour days, 18-hour days that he's working hard nonstop, and he's running many businesses. I didn't do any podcasts while I was there. I just did the movie. He gets off the set, goes in his trailer, and he's got a team going, all right, sit down. We got to deal with Heartbeat Productions. Hey, we've got to do Heart Out Loud or whatever, all the shit he's doing. And I was like, oh, this is overwhelming. Not to mention the future projects the things he's doing with the Plastic Cup Boys, the things and then running a family. I'm like, oh my God, like it really was overwhelming. Short perspective was what I walked away with this movie from. I was like, my perspective has shifted about this business entirely.
Yeah. I hear you. And how did it feel to be number one on the call sheet?
I thought that meant that you got picked up first. I'm such an idiot, Bobby. I was like, I got pissy, and I go, why am I getting picked up for everyone else? Like, I have the least amount of makeup. Like, I have the least amount of fucking shit going on. And I was like, it's me and Mark get picked up first, because all I'm seeing is our call times, and Mark and I got picked up at the same time every time. And I go, this is bullshit. Like, this guy's got to go through so much more makeup. And then one of my co-stars was like, said, you're number one on the call sheet. And I go, yeah, because I get here first every day. And they're like, you're not here first. And they're like, you're actually here last. And I went, what? And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, what's that mean then? They're like, that means that you're number one on the call sheet. You're the most important person. I was like, I'm in 98% of the scenes, Bobby. All I will say is, if you sit and watch the entire movie, you will definitely go, wow, his acting got better.
I can't wait to see it, dude. I really can't wait.
Excited, yeah.
And there hasn't been a movie a comedy made, in my eyes, that I know your movie is going to do and try to be as fucking funny as possible, no matter what. Who gives a fuck? Funny. I can't.
We did. With or the very first. I don't know what'll come out. I don't know how it'll come out. All I can talk is and I can't really talk about the movie. Because here's my other thing: is I want people to see it knowing nothing about it. I almost don't want there to be a trailer. Like, I almost want people to just walk into the movie, because my two movies that I can use as reference, I never saw the trailer of The Karate Kid or Footloose. I was in a van going to see Footloose. I go, what's this movie about? And they're like, dancing. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, are we really seeing a movie about dancing? And I walked out of Footloose going like, this is the greatest movie ever. Karate Kid, all I knew was, I was like, there's gonna be a child and he'll probably know karate, right? At the end of Karate Kid, I am crying, going like, get him, Daniel, get him. And so I partly don't want a trailer. I don't want a trailer. Right. I don't want to waste all the good jokes in the trailer.
Funny part
and I don't want to tell anyone anything about it, because I think this movie will surprise a lot of people in a lot of different ways, that it's not what they're expecting, right? And all I can say about Legendary, who is the studio that made our movie, is there's like three people really, Herb, Mary, and Josh, who are like the, you know, the people that can stop a movie. If you're making a movie, they'll stop it and go, you're done, everyone come home. And they're the people that also go back and do it again, right? And so those are the people that you really got to make sure they're happy. So our very first day of shooting, I made a couple changes that I thought this will be the tone of this movie. So maybe the first scene you see, and I was like, I want the tone to be fun. I want it to be out there. I had just listened to Rogan, and Rogan's like, they don't make movies that punch you in the dick anymore. And I was like, all right, let's make that movie. And by the way, it's my first day shooting, so I do a little bit of a rewrite, and we go and we shoot the scene, and I don't know if it's funny because no one laughs on set, right? You just get done, and I'm panicked. I'm not drinking that day, and I'm like, God damn it! I go home and I open a bottle of wine. I go, I hope I'm not fucking this movie up. And I get a text from Josh and from Mary. And the other guy's this guy Herb, but I just ran into him like a week later. But he came out. But I got a text from Josh, and he was like, this is the owner of Legendary. More of that shit. You can't go hard enough. Let's make a fucking crazy movie. Wow. And then I was like, wow. And then Mary texted me, and she was like, this is exactly the movie we want to make. And as soon as that was said, I was like, I mean, there are jokes in there. There are jokes in there that will definitely be taken out because it's the same with The Cabin. When I did The Cabin, the very first thing we did was process an emu with a chainsaw. And Segura and I looked at each other and we're like, I think we're canceling each other right now. Like, we're like, this is bad. And Netflix was like, hey, don't worry, we'll protect you. Well, you can't go hard enough. Go hard as you want. And so that's what we did with the movie. We went hard as fuck. We can always pull it back.
Right.
And I think people enjoy it. I really hope they'll enjoy it.
That's great.
What's the release?
I think they're thinking of beginning of it. I have two theories. Like, partly Netflix has been such a good home to me that I know that my fans are there. So a part of me goes, sell it to Netflix and everyone makes their money back. Everyone's happy. It's a win-win, and the movie will be big. It'll be bigger on Netflix probably than anything else. Or roll the dice, do it open in theaters wide, right? And come out like March, February when maybe movies aren't coming out, and see if you make some fucking legit cash, and hope that people as they walk out of the movie theater going, what the fuck are we watching?
Bert, can I say something?
Yeah.
I just want to put my 2 cents in. Roll the fucking dice.
Right?
Listen to me. Roll the fucking. If you're making that movie where they're like more of that, that hasn't been done. And if that comes out and people haven't been to theaters, I want to go to a movie so bad. There's nothing to see. Roll
I think
the fucking dice and then fucking, I want, as soon as you make your first 20 million, blue Sky Dweller, Rolex, stainless steel.
I'll tell you, Bobby, I all I will say is, I went in that first day. The director and my executive producer, Kale and Peter, I said to them, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I can give you everything I have. Every day I can give you everything I have. But I trust you guys. So if I'm fucking up, tell me I'm fucking up. I'll do it different. I go, you guys can come in and give me a line read, and I'll say it exactly how you want it said. But I'm going to give you what I can give you. And then I trust that we're okay. And I did some things that, like, I would sit in bed and go, I don't know if that's fucking. I called Ari one time and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing on this thing. Like, I'm all over the place. There are scenes where you look at yourself on camera and everyone's laughing. Everyone's fucking laughing watching it. And you're like, I'm not cool with myself being represented like this. and then you're going, okay, like, I trust. I mean, like, I can tell. I don't even want to tell you privately, because I want you to see it and go, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
Like, what the fuck did you do? Like, all I'll tell you is there was a weight clause in there, and because I started getting in shape, and they're like, no. They're like, that's not the movie we're making. Yeah. And I was like, wow. Huh? And at one point, I'm not going to say who said this, someone at Legendary said, hide his running shoes. Hide his running shoes. And I was like, and they were like, listen, I mean, there's so many great fucking things. And by the way, it was 3 months. So we shot 3 months of a movie, and we have way overshot. We have so much content, and there's so much bizarre fucking crazy shit. And I think that it's going to be not what people expect.
Give me an idea of what's so fucking crazy that something may not make the movie.
I have a lot.
I'm so curious, but going in blind, I feel like is going to be fun. Even if there is a trailer, I'm not going to watch it.
Mike, don't do your Staten Island Italian lawyer mafia thing where you get him to reveal shit.
I'll tell you what. This is what I want the trailer to be. I'm going to pitch this tonight. You'll meet Mary and Josh and Kale and probably Herb tonight. They're like the team at Legendary. Fucking amazing group of people. I want to do a trailer where it's like dun dun dun, and you see the opening shot, and then it cuts to black, and you hear all the audio of what's going on, and you don't see what goes on in the movie because it is. If you saw it, then you'd go. I think people see the trailer and go, "What? Oh, it's gonna be this." But if you sit down, there's no way you'd know what you're gonna see.
Let me tell you why that's such a great idea. He calls me up one day, and I know you're full of shit because I know you already knew. He calls me up one day and he goes, "Who should play my father in the movie?" And I know his dad, so I start thinking of people that like look like his dad, and so I'm like Richard Dreyfuss, and he's like, oh, and then we went through a bunch of people, and that would be a good idea, and then that was it. But I know you already knew who it was at that point. And then nobody knew. And then the day you guys got on the plane and you revealed that it was Mark Hamill was so fucking huge because nobody knew about it.
Yeah.
That's why you're 100% right.
I think, I mean, by the way, Mark Hamill was such a great, what's funny is like his name came in the mix and immediately me and Kale, Judy, Peter, Leanne was the only one that was like Mark Hamill. And I went, hold on. I go, you're in your head. You're thinking Luke Skywalker. You're thinking, I'm thinking Mark Hamill. Yeah. And she went, oh my God. And immediately she goes, this is like when John Travolta was in Pulp Fiction and everyone sees a different side of him. Mark Hamill is so goddamn fucking funny in this movie. So, I mean, there's a scene. I wish I could tell you the scenes. There's Mark Hamill's, I'm getting shit. Like he's the way he behaves throughout this movie is so perfectly set up for comedy that he at times he didn't do anything and we were crying fucking laughing and then you forget he's an amazing fucking actor. You just forget, like, you just think of like him, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford. They're movie stars to you. They're not like you forget they're like legit trained actors. We have a scene, I'm off camera and he's doing this thing and I'm off camera and I start sobbing, crying. I'm off camera.
Oh, wow.
And then they cut to my close up and they're like, Bert, back to you. And I was like, I go over to the director. I go, I need him to do the thing he did earlier. And they're like, what? I go, the touch my face thing. I go, that gets it out of me. And he was like, Mark, can you play, fucking hit the gas a little bit? And Mark did it again. I just, it's so fucking, and by the way, we're just getting into the editing process right now. They just had their first post meeting yesterday. And it's a little bit of like, piecemeal it together, but they would put together dailies. I mean, there's so much shit I can't even tell you. They'd put together dailies and send them, and you'd watch it and you'd be like, no music, right? No sound effects, no nothing. And you're just like, and we're watching it, we're like, fuck. And I don't know. I
can't wait. I thought that it was the machine story, and it's not.
No.
And I think the fact that I really have no fucking idea what it's about makes it even more exciting.
They've said what it's about.
Yeah,
they've said what it's about. I think the best way to explain this movie, if you're going to pitch it to someone, it's Godfather 2 meets Midnight Run meets The Hangover.
Okay. All right.
Perfect. By the way, that was in the room, because everyone knows. I mean, I think everyone knows the basic premise of the movie is me and my father get kidnapped by the Russian mafia. And in the pitch, I went into the room. I pitched like three really good ideas. Now that I think about it, and this guy Kale, who's now one of my best friends, and our executive producer goes, and you'll meet him tonight, and you're gonna go, I get this guy. He's so fucking Florida, right? And he goes, okay, all right, they're good pitches. We can do them if you want. You get to make one movie. Hollywood gives you one movie. Right now, what movie do you make? And I go, The Machine. And he goes, what's a pitch? And I go, I don't have a pitch. I go, I'll be honest with you, Gail. I'm afraid to make that movie because I'm afraid I'm going to make it. And then one day I'll get a corporate gig and I'll get there and it'll be the Russian mafia that hired me and they're going to fucking make me party with them and kill me. And he goes, sold. Sold. And I go, what? He goes, that's the movie we're making. And he goes, I see it as Godfather 2. I go, what? And he goes, well, I mean, we can't have you play you. So it's a little Godfather 2. We got Michael Corleone and then Vito Corleone. And I was like, oh shit. And dude, the one time I legit produced is watching, young Bert in the movie, because obviously Jimmy Tatro plays. These are all things that are out there that you could find if you want. But Jimmy Tatro plays me, and watching young Bert, Did
he nail Youngbert?
Jimmy Tatro, first day of set, goes. He's like, hey, I need to get something for my lip. And we're like, what? And he was like, I was looking at you, your mouth's always open and your lips always down like this. I was like, what? And he was, so I need to get something for my lip to keep it like this, because you're like this all the time. I was like, are you being serious? He's like, I'm being dead fucking serious. He murdered it. And he put in parts of the movie that as you're watching, you go, oh, we can use that making a movie is so much fucking fun. I've already have another movie that I'm working on right now with Leanne that's sold. We sold a movie. Leanne and I sold a movie. Hasn't been announced yet, but Leanne and I sold a movie. And
let's announce it right here on the Calta and Kelly podcast.
I can't yet. But
it's about you and Leanne wrote it?
It's hard to explain. And then there's another one in the works. And I'm up for making more movies. I'm up for maybe trimming down the shoot time, because it's like 3 months is pretty aggressive.
3 months is pretty typical for a movie.
No, Joe Coy shot his in like 21 days,
and no one.
Whoa!
No, it's coming out in Easter. It's just got announced. But like I would do, maybe Serbia was pretty aggressive, being gone for that long from your family. But I making a movie is really fucking fun. It's really fun, and it's just, and especially I think I got lucky as the team I worked with was pretty badass. Yeah. So but I'm up for making more movies, but I'll tell you, man, nothing beats like doing the Borgata and just coming up with a joke in the moment, and then bringing it on stage. And then, dude, I did the Borgata last weekend. Yeah, best 4 shows I've had. Because they're all indoors. I've been doing outdoor shows. It's like swimming with overalls on.
Dude, I'm excited. I'm very excited about it, and I'm excited. I just want you to know, Calta, you're still my number one best friend. He has this new guy who is his best friend. I don't know who that is.
Kale.
Kale's his new best.
By the way, Bobby, Kale. All this is how great Kale would be. Like, Kale would be in the tent. He'd be like, "Tell me some funny comics," and I just go through the list. I show all you guys. I'd be like, run through, and I was like, I felt so cool that I was like showing him people that I was like, you got to know this guy, you got to know this guy. I pulled you up. I was like, he's a legit fucking actor. I go, Dennis Leary, like Bobby is a legit fucking actor. He's like, what's his movie? And I was like, I don't know. So next time you come out, I'll set up a meeting with you and Kale and pitch it with Kale. And
Calta will be best friends, and he'll do Calta and Kelly with Zia.
You got to do a podcast with Kale, Calta, Kale, and Kelly.
Listen to me. He's got. I don't want to say it on there. He's got the best idea for a remake for a movie for him. That couldn't be any fucking better.
Really?
I'll tell you off the air. You'll love it. It's so perfect. I say this to him all the time too. I see him like every once in a while on Law and Order or something like that, pop on TV. He's a good fucking actor.
Bobby's the best actor.
He's a good actor.
Out of all the comics that started. I never would have thought Bill would have gotten into acting. I know, and Bill's an amazing actor, but like I just thought Bobby and Dane were the two that I was like they're gonna. I think Patrice said it. Patrice was like, man, I got no hate for Dane wanting to be an actor. He's never made any qualms about wanting to be an actor. He's always wanted to be an actor. Same with Bobby. He goes, those are like guys that deserve to be on screen. I remember Patrice saying that, and he's like, some guys just got into this, get a sitcom, and he named a bunch of names, and you're like, yeah. He's like, fuck them. He's like, but those guys are legit. They deserve to be on this. You're a great actor, Bobby.
Yeah, well, I'm in a fucking shed with no AC right now. So, we got to wrap this podcast up because I'm dying.
My personal trainer's coming out in 25 minutes. Me and Cal are going to work out.
Oh, please videotape some of it, please.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll put it all on Instagram.
Oh, please. I want to see Calta working out.
Bert said to me after the podcast, do you want to work out with me? And I wrote, fuck no. And then I erased it because I didn't want to be like too. And I was just like, I'll spot you.
You know, Georgia invites her friends to my workouts, and all these girls show up. All these like 16-year-old girls show up, and they all work out with me. And it's this big girl power event. 'Cause my trainer's a woman, and then I just sit off to the side on the treadmill. And now that my arm's hurt, I go into surgery on Thursday, Bobby.
For what?
I fucked my arm up doing the movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Old Hooper over here doing his own stunts.
I was doing my own acting.
Oh,
Cal.
My bad.
I hurt my arm acting. So they've got to go and take the tendons. You can feel them. You got to take the tendons back down.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts.
I go under for the first time. I've never gone under.
I wanted to smack it so bad and I didn't do it.
Oh, God.
You didn't go under when you got your wisdom teeth taken out?
I've never got my wisdom teeth. That's why I'm so smart.
I have my wisdom
teeth
too. All four. Of them.
Oh, you have still
I
have
all
them?
four of my
Yeah, I have them. All mine.
fucking geniuses.
What if that really was what made people successful and smart? Wisdom
Oh.
teeth.
Well, I'm fucked now. God damn it.
What if when they took them out, you were like, I think I want to get a tiger in my apartment.
High fiving backwards, fucking spaghetti.
Actually, come to think of it, I'm pretty sure I've gotten dumber since they got taken out. Fuck.
All right.
I said, this is the worst joke. Oh, this is the worst joke. My buddy's daughter got her wisdom teeth out, and I was drunk. And he was like, yeah, my daughter got her wisdom teeth out. And I go, what, is she making more room for cocks? And he was like, man, she's 14. And I was like, oh sorry.
Oh, no.
Well, listen, there's a part we do. I'd love you to stick around for.
Oh no, we're still gonna do this.
No, it's a part we end the show every Tuesday for over a year. We've had a very special guest come on, very special. The fans love it. I don't know if we're getting any Joes. I mean, if we're not getting Joes, I don't think we. Oh, there we go. There's a Joe. There's a couple Joes coming up. We have Mr. Joe Russell has done a new 5 for over a year, once a week on Tuesday show, and he is here right now to do his new 5. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Joe Russell and his new 5. Is that what it's called? Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Joe Russell.
Hey, everybody.
No pressure today, Joe.
Hey, wait a minute, Mush. Make him the big one, please, Mush. We just got mushed.
It's not going. Sorry about that.
Well, I can't do it. There you go. All right, there you go.
The other day, I was at the grocery store. I picked up a bag of baby carrots. The bag said gluten-free. I didn't even know baby carrots had gluten. If these carrots are gluten-free, then what the hell have I been sticking up my ass this whole time? You're going to tell me potatoes are gluten-free too? This changes everything. I'm going to stick to light bulbs and Tonka trucks.
You don't have to fake laugh for it. You just let it die.
I was feeling lonely, so I started typing into Google how to make friends. But as I was typing, it suggested how to make French toast. So I made French toast. It was so good I didn't want to share it. Fuck friends.
Okay.
That's all right.
Who needs friends when you got a bag of carrots?
There you go.
Look at his confident. Mm-hmm.
Hey, you guys want to hear some survival tips?
Sure.
If you're ever stranded in the desert, you can squeeze a cactus to get an ounce of water. If you want 10 ounces of water, you can just squeeze a new bottle of mustard.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what's up with all the water and the mustard these days?
There we go.
It's like my bottle of French's is about to give birth to a bunch of little mustard packets.
That was good.
That's
I
why
like that.
That's why you got to use condiments. Guys.
Oh,
Hey,
These are like 1990 Gary Goldman jokes.
that's a compliment. You ever notice old people have a lot of cream?
Cream?
Yeah, like you go to your grandma's house, she's putting cream under her eyes, rubbing cream on her hands, spreading cream on, cream cheese on a bagel. Someone should make a cream for old people that does everything, You could call it Dr. Fix-It-All's Humdinger Dandy You Betcha Cream. Imagine the commercials. This is an all-purpose cream that tastes good in your coffee, and if you spill the hot coffee on your lap, it's also a burn ointment.
I'm so glad the construction is drowning out a lot of these.
Yeah. Can you hear the construction?
No.
They're cutting stones outside our door and we can barely hear you, but that was a good one.
I'm good. Yeah.
I wish I could.
Hold on, the commercial's still going. Elmer says, feels good on my joints, but tastes real good on my strawberries. And remember our jingle, put it on your hemorrhoids to make them shrink and use it to caulk the kitchen sink. It's a sour cream for your chicken quesadilla. Use it on your hole when it gives you diarrhea. Use it on your boat and use it on your car. Put it on your lawn to make the Mexicans go away.
Wow.
That took an alt right and a quick alt right.
Wow.
Warning: this cream will not make your grandson visit you.
Holy shit. Please tell me you're ending on that one?
Yeah.
You should take your list every week and flip it.
All right, hey, can I tell you a joke I heard in Serbia that my buddy Phil told me that made me laugh?
Yeah.
Okay. He goes, guy goes to prison. Now, Phil's British, so I'm going to do it with a British accent because I liked it better the way he said it. He goes, guy goes to prison, gets there the first day, and he meets his new cellmate, and his cellmate is like 350 pounds, covered in tats, no shirt on, bald, sitting on the edge of his bed, and he goes, all right, first night, need to know this? We play a game called Mommy and Daddy. So, pick which one you want to be. And he goes, I don't want to play. Gotta play. Mommy and Daddy. Pick which one you want to be. And the guy goes, well, okay. Obviously, I want to be Daddy. And he goes, okay. So come on over here and suck Mommy's cock.
Just FYI, that's an Australian accent.
So then this German guy we're working with, he goes, we have a very similar joke in Germany. A very similar joke. Guy comes to prison, gets in his room, and he says, cellmate, big guy, no shirt, bald on the corner of bed. And he goes, hey. By the way, this accent's changing. He goes, hey. To his new cellmate, hey. So this is going to happen whether you want it to or not. You can choose to do it with spit or without spit. And the guy goes, well, fuck, I'll do it with spit. And he goes, okay, your choice. Hey, spit, he wants you to do it too.
I like that one.
I love the guy's name, Spit. Zia, what do you got? Tell the fans what you got besides perfect B cup titties.
You're so sweet, Bobby. I'll tell you, I've always not liked my little mosquito bite titties, but since doing OnlyFans, it's really gotten the confidence up. People seem to like them. It's
Can I
nice.
be honest with you? When you sent me the first time you emailed me, you sent me something in the email.
Yeah.
And I thought it was you. I thought it was you sending me a nice OnlyFans naked thing. And then when you sent me whatever you sent me, I was like, boop,
Pictures of you eating toothpaste cookie sandwiches. Yes.
Yeah, it really fucking.
I'm sorry. It was so funny.
Girls are always hotter in person than they are on OnlyFans.
That's not always true.
Maybe, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't met any girls in OnlyFans in person yet. So we'll see.
Me either then.
All right, what do you got, Zia?
Onlyfans.com/Zealand. It's spelled XIALAND. Also, I stream on Twitch video games. I do a snack stream where I try snacks and foods I've never had before. It's always really fun. That's on Sundays at 6 p.m. Twitch.tv/Zealand, XIALAND. I'm pretty much always on the Chip Chipperson podcast if you ever want to check that out. It's a fun time too. That's up on YouTube, and there's also a Twitch Chip Patreon. And it's Eric Nagel with Eric Nagel, E-Rock. And that also wherever you find your podcasts.
All right.
I just followed you, Zia.
Yay! Oh my gosh, you were awesome. And
I'm
that's
going to your OnlyFans right now.
at Zia_land on Instagram and Twitter. Holy shit, that's awesome.
Joe, what do you got, Joe, besides fucking awful hair?
Subscribe.
I have the Cheese Show. If you go to YouTube and search Cheese Show, it's the first thing.
Bert, you got to check out his cheese show. He has a cheese show. Him and his girl tried cheeses every week. The cheese show.
The show is great.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Fuck yeah, I'll check it out.
It's literally like a 5-minute show they do once a week. It's pretty funny.
Is there cheese?
Oh, you got some tattoos, Zia.
I do. Yeah, I do have a few tattoos. Yeah.
This is creepy.
Yeah, I love it so much.
I just subscribed to her OnlyFans.
You pay for it?
Yeah, $10. Why not?
You are fucking incredible.
It goes to her.
I can't.
He's fucking rich.
Thank
Every
you.
time I meet someone and they got an OnlyFans, I subscribe to them and I go, it's $10. Give it to them. I don't give a fuck.
$10 a month or just one?
I think it's $10 a month.
It is. It's $10 a month, and it helps me out a lot. I have like 8 jobs. Maybe I can drop 1 or 2.
These are all my subscriptions. Okay, I've got
Incredible.
Adrian Chechik. She goes fucking hard.
She's hot.
Kate Kennedy. She's a porn star comic. Christy Mack. I mean, I got to do Christy
also
Mack.
really hot. Yeah.
Kate Kennedy. The one the one I like, I got Lindsay Pellis, and then Get in the Car. Have you seen Get in the Car?
No.
Get in the Car is pretty impressive. Take a look. She does car videos, but she is like naked in her OnlyFans.
Look up Sarah Cheeky.
Gotta subscribe to her.
Sarah Cheeky and Nicole Laurel.
Bert is the best.
I always,
So
but I look at it
supportive.
as like if I had like if it's like a Patreon for people that can also get naked.
Like when you check out at Walgreens and they go, "Would you like to donate an extra $1 to charity?" I'm gonna go, "No, I'm taking care of OnlyFans girls. That's my charity."
Oh my God, how great if you could pair up with like fucking. Oh my God, would you like to throw an extra $10 to Zia's OnlyFans in Walmart? You're like, oh yeah. They're like, enjoy. You go get in your phone and get in the car.
Love that. Be
Nicole
incredible.
Laurel and Sarah Cheeky.
Speaking of patreon.com/Robert Kelly, you can go there and subscribe if you haven't already. You get bonus episodes, Friday episode of Calta and Kelly, extra half hour YKWd, and you get to be part of the jerk off party, the JOP, and everybody. If you want your buttons, message Lou and she'll send them out to you. Thank God for that. And check out the Mike Calta show every goddamn morning. It's the best morning radio show on terrestrial radio. Barnum,
And tonight, Mike Cowhead is hosting the Variety. What is it?
The Variety Impact Awards, where Bert is getting the Impact Award
For the
for the biggest business, best business. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Hold on, I'll tell you.
I'm glad you're hosting it.
Well, hold on, I got it.
It's the most successful comedian, business wise.
It's I
is
just
that
got the
noise?
award today.
Is there a fucking Indy 500 near your house?
That you finally heard it. We've been listening to this the whole time. Here we go. The Creative Impact in Comedy honoree. The last person to get this award was 10 years ago, and it was Chris Rock.
Wow.
Wow.
Congratulations, buddy.
Seriously,
Thank you,
that is
thank you.
awesome.
That's great, man. Good for you, brother.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And of course, make sure, I can't wait to see the movie. Mike V. Suarez, the producer, the Mush, he is going to be with me in Side Splitters. Mike, where else are you going to be?
I'll be with you in Providence, Rhode Island in a couple of weeks as well.
That's right. That's
and
correct.
I'll be with Giannis if he doesn't cancel over COVID in San Antonio,
Yep.
and with Rich Voss in Austin at Kicking the Cave.
All right, check me out. Vasani's this weekend with Mr. Mike Calta. Tomorrow night, we meet at the airport. Then we go to Eddie V's for a seafood tower, right? And then we go to Vasani's Comedy Club Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Get your tickets now. It's going to sell out. And also Comedy Connection Rhode Island. I'm going to be at the Punchline Philly, which I love. Make sure you get that. Comedy Works. I got a bunch of dates. It's filling up. We're back. I'm going to do Creeps with Kids is coming back. Hopefully, I think at the Long Island Theater. And I want to thank all the Ladybugs last night who came out to see the JFL Nasty show at the Stand. What a fucking time. Dickie, Sarah, Melissa, and a bunch of other fans came out and showed support last night. I had a blast. Ari was there. Rosebud was there. Yamanika was there. Big J was hosting. It was good to see JFL still fucking in action and making things happen. Hopefully we'll be back up in JFL. Maybe we'll do a Bert. We do a Bert gala. Me, you do your own gala, and then Calta goes up and we hang the fuck out next year at JFL. What do you think of that?
I like it.
And that's all we got. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment. And right now, everybody watching, go to comicwearables.com. Get your Calta and Kelly. Get your Calta shirt. Where's the Calta shirt? Show me that Calta fucking head. Right there. Mike Calta. I'm going to send Bert one of those. Bert, you're gonna get a Calta head shirt. And make sure you go there, comicwearables.com. Buy all your Calta and Kelly merchandise. And also make sure you go to, right now, subscribe. Hit it, whack it, lick it, fuck it, comment. We don't care what you say. And like this podcast on YouTube. We got some big news coming up very soon from Mr. Mike Calta for this podcast. I'm very excited. Dude, what a fucking show. I'm so happy for you too. Bert, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations, brother. You guys look great together.
Thanks, Bobby.
And send my number one friend back in one piece, okay?
All right.
See you tomorrow night, pal.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.